Yo, this is Jared with the Columbia Watch Society, colawatch.com on the internet, and at the Columbia Watch Society on Instagram, if you didn't know. Thanks for spending some time with us today. Really appreciate it. We're going to be taking a quick look at a new re-release of an original release from Spinnaker watches. And if you're familiar with Spinnaker, they are like on fire with releases, always releasing something new, which is insane. But this particular model, the Bradner is what they call it, is one of my favorites actually. The reference number for the one we're going to look at today, the new re-release of the Bradner, is SP-5062 if you want to check them out. So we'll just get on into it. So inside that box I just opened is a white cloth, a hang tag, and a little booklet, and of course the pillow it sits on. And this is it. If you're familiar with the Bradner originally, it's essentially the same thing with a couple notable upgrades. And I'll get through those, and then I'll show you the original and this one side by side so you can see it's not very different as far as aesthetically speaking. So the upgrades that you'll get with the new Bradner SP-5062 are, they've added a bluish, and I'll see if I can tilt it. Yeah, you can see the blue ring around the inner bezel, inner rotating bi-directional bezel. You can see the blue ring. It's a bluish AR coating that was added to the underside of the crystal. It has come from 150 meters water resistance up to 180 meters. And I'll move the minute hand here to move this around so you can see the text on the bottom here. So it's come from 150 depth rating meters to 180 meters as far as the depth rating. The gears on the internal bezel, as I mentioned before, were upgraded to run a bit smoother. And as far as I can tell, it is pretty buttery smooth. And then the loom was upgraded to be a little bit stronger. And there is loom on the internal bi-directional bezel as well as the markers and the hands. And while I'm on that note, I'm going to go ahead and flip the lights off so you can see the loom, because this might be one of my more favorite parts of this particular watch, the Bradner, is the loom. I mean, it's excellent loom. The bi-directional internal bezel is lit up as well, as you can see, and it's just, I mean, I think it's gorgeous lit up. So let me flip the lights back on here, and we'll compare the two side by side. Not much difference when you look at them side by side. Just a couple upgrades that I guess Spinnaker saw fit to add to the new Bradner. If I can never get control of them, we'll compare. So the noticeable differences, as far as I could see, are the AR coating. As you can see, the one on the left does not have the bluish AR coating on the interior, but the one on the right, the new release, does. And then the text size on the bottom, where it says automatic, and then the depth rating on the newer one in my right hand here is a little bit enlarged. But other than that, there's not, that I can tell, any differences, and I haven't really spent a lot of time comparing the two, but that's pretty much it. It originally was a very solid watch, and I still think it absolutely is. I really love the blue AR. That's a nice addition. The case size between the two, the new release, is basically the same. It's somewhere around 44 millimeters, and it still comes on a water resistant leather strap with the vintage stitching there. Really matches the loom nicely, actually, the stitching. And it's 20 millimeters. The lug size is, that is. Same case as used before. You still get a see-through case back with a signed rotor, like on the original. And everything's pretty much the same. Have the signed buckle there. So yeah, that's about it. I'm just thinking. All these pauses are me thinking, trying to make sure I don't miss anything. But again, this is the re-release of the Bradner from Spinnaker SP-5062. Stellar watch, one of my favorites from Spinnaker. And yeah, the upgrades as far as the AR coating, the depth rating, the smoother internal gears on the bidirectional internal bezel, stronger loom, all great additions in my opinion. But again, just a stellar watch, great loom, killer looking piece on the wrist. Hey, you guys take it easy. Sure do appreciate you spending time here with us again. It's at the Columbia Watch Society on Instagram and colawatch.com on the internet. Later.